Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Gaylor.
Hi, Brock.
He made it.
It's pouring down rain.
Lucky.
Oh my.
Did you say it's raining there, Dennis?
Pouring.
I wish it would do that here. Maybe cool it down a little bit.
Same.
Me too.
We got a bunch last night.
Yeah, we did too.
The shepherd was hiding under anything she could get under.
A little bit of thunder, huh?
Yeah, pretty close too.
Beth, did you go to Chuck Kimmerly's talk?
No, I didn't.
It's good.
Was it?
Yeah. It's an unusual personality.
Yeah. There's a few of those in this business.
Yeah. Rick Sammons is doing one on the 14th.
Yeah.
Hi, Annie.
Hello. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Not bad.
Hot. In a word.
Go someplace cooler.
There we go.
Hmm. Margie won't be coming tonight. She is sick as a dog.
I wondered because I sent her an email this morning and she never responded to it. She usually does.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday. She was really sick. She said she's been sick for about 3 days. She doesn't know what's going on. She's extremely tired. She said as soon as she sits down, she falls asleep. That she loses like 2 hours.
You get checked for COVID-19?
I don't know that she's done that, but she just said she's not. I don't know if she's got like a flu or what, but she's just not feeling very well at all.
Sounds like a good candidate for a test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hi, Nate.
Hi, Nate.
Okay.
Hey, Nate.
You're not outside in the swimming pool.
No.
And a few days ago, my mom bought me Pokemon Sword, and I just got a legendary Pokemon.
Oh,
And
All
Turtle.
right. Hmm.
Wow.
We have been in the pool most afternoons.
I figured.
does she take too many turns on it? Does she let you play?
Yeah, I haven't played Pokemon yet.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, on the other hand, I'll play.
Hmm. Bye,
Okay.
Nate.
Love you.
I think I got a Cookie Monster puppet around here somewhere. So I would have that ready for him.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I was awake all night, as usual, as you guys know, literally all night. So at 5 o'clock this morning, I thought, I think I'm going to ride up to Ohio Powell to take pictures of the sunrise. I figured it would be.
I wondered if that picture was a stay up all night thing. I've never known you to do sunrise shots.
Yeah, every now and then, but that's usually if I've been up all night and I like can't go to sleep, so I get up and go somewhere. So that was what that was this morning. But so when I get up there, all the way up, it wasn't too bad. But once I get up to Bogman's Rock up in Ohio Powell, the fog was so thick you could barely see the end of the hood of the truck, let
wow.
alone the sunrise.
Wow.
So it wasn't a good sunrise morning, but I did get some nice fog pictures up around Bogman's Rock and on top of the mountain. And then I
Nice.
took a ride a little further up the hill up to Fire Tower Road, and there was no fog there at all, and the sun was out. So, but you can't shoot a sunrise from there. There's nothing really in that area to use as a sunrise. But anyhow, I still got out and took some pictures today.
Yeah, that's good.
You were playing with Luminar too?
I have been playing with Luminar. Luminar's on sale right now at the Skylum price of $64 for Luminar. And you can still use the WPS 10 discount code on top of that. And it takes, if it's 10% or $10, but it takes money off of it. So I posted those links up on Reddit the other day. And so if you were thinking about getting Luminar, it's probably not a bad time to get it. And don't forget to click on the little button that says promotional code and type in WPS 10. And it'll get you a discount on that. And it also makes the club a small percentage of the sale. And that goes back into the club later on down the road. So
You said WPS 10?
WPS 10 is the discount code.
Oh, okay, there it is. Never mind.
And if you look at Reddit, I posted it on the right-hand side. If you're looking at it on a computer under the sidebars, and you'll see one that's red, so you can see it, and it has that information in there. A link to the sale and the codes written on there.
Okay.
I've been fooling around with it. I don't know if you guys seen the picture I did on Reddit. I posted it on Reddit just playing.
Yep, just looking at it.
The other day. It came out pretty good. It was pretty cool. It's not perfect, but it sure does do things a lot quicker than sitting down in Photoshop and doing selections and stuff like that. So
Well, it's definitely interesting having mountains in the back of the city.
yeah, I was just like I said, I was fooling around. I wanted to see what it would do.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's kind of cool.
Well, daylight in the front and nighttime in the back.
I can here, I'll bring it up so you guys can see it. That's it there. So, and it's not the best quality picture because it's not one of my pictures. I found it in one of my folders on my computer that we were using for critiques. So it could very easily be one of your photographs. I don't know. Or it was one that I found online somewhere of Pittsburgh. I don't know where the picture came from, but I just was trying to fool around with something. And I figured since we use Reddit and it's private, no one will complain. So there it is. But the mountains are part of Reddit and the sky is part of Reddit. Those two pictures aren't mine. Those came right out of Reddit. Or not Reddit, I'm sorry, came out of Luminar. The picture of Pittsburgh, like I said, I was in one of my folders.
That's neat.
Wow.
Do they make it easy to put in your own skies? Like if
Yes.
you've got a great sky?
Absolutely. It says, from what I've read, it says that they work better if you have them as a PNG file rather than a JPEG. But yes, you can, it's very simple. You go in and when you go in to put a sky in, there's you scroll all the way to the bottom and there's a place where you can select a sky or select your own picture, go in, click it, select it, and it puts it in. So it's actually very easy.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I decided to go ahead and buy it, and so I've got it now. We'll see what I come up with over time as I play with it. As far as an editor goes, it works pretty decent as a basic editor too, or maybe a little bit better than a basic editor. So I tried fooling around with a few pictures as well. I haven't posted them yet. I did post 2 pictures, which I can show because they're not for anything. Critiques. These are HDRs that I did with Aurora, which I also purchased through the coupon code. And it's on sale as well.
I was looking at them on my computer right here. Boy, they are detailed, really beautifully detailed.
The detail on them is really good. I was very this is a 5-shot HDR. So it was 5 photographs that I took, ranging the different stops to get what I wanted. And I was really impressed. And if you look like
Wow.
down in here, these red lines that I looked at, I thought, well, that's weird. This shouldn't be there. And then I started remembering that was actually, the rock was red there from the probably acid mine drainage coming into that creek.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it looks like.
yeah, it was red. And so it picked that up. It pulled that out and it got over in here. I was very impressed with it. It does have, the leaves were moving because it was windy that day. So
Yep.
some, when you start throwing a bunch of pictures together, you get leaves that are moving. But actually, if you look right there, there was that bird that we seen, Annie.
Where is he? Oh,
Right
there he is.
Oh, yeah.
That's that heron that flew right over us.
Yeah. But I was really impressed. It done a nice job. And that's 5 raw files that I put together with Aurora. I didn't break them into TIFFs or JPEGs or anything like that. I sent the raw file straight to Aurora, and it took maybe 6 or 7 minutes to put those pictures together totally with my computer, which isn't bad when you're doing raw files off of D850. So I was pretty impressed with it. It done a nice job.
It looks like there were people out on that balcony.
There was, yes.
Yeah. See them too up close.
Yeah, you could see a few of them in there. And then this is also a 5-shot HDR photograph as well. I fooled around with this one a little bit. I wasn't real happy with this edge up here in the trees with the sky. But I'm sure I could, if I worked on it a little bit more, I could fix that with no problem. But as far as the detail and the way it put the pictures together, I think it done a great job. So
Wow.
You can't see the heron in that one, huh?
No, he was around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
On the
He
backside
was
of
up
the
in that
tree. Yeah.
tree.
But like I said, as far as the program worked really well. The Aurora HDR program has an awful lot of adjustment abilities in it, and I was really impressed with that. I mean, you really could get in and do a lot of work if you wanted to inside that program. So, and none of these were touched with Lightroom or anything like that. They were either through Loom or these were both just through Aurora, and the Pittsburgh picture was just through Luminar. I never put them in anything else, never did anything else to them. So.
Wow.
How much is the Aurora?
I do not remember.
It's $54.
$54.
Oh, it looks like the sale might have ended because that's a different sale price. You can still
I'll
use
see.
the WPS for that and get 10% off. But yeah, it changed. I bought the whole package. I paid $183 for everything.
Well, I was gonna say it looks like it's cheaper to spend another $10 and get that Luminar 4, the one in the middle, the plus bar.
Yeah,
Bundle.
because you get the planets and you get the California sunsets, which are additional skies that you can add into it. That's a good deal, and there's quite a few of those in there that you can use. And then they have all kind of sky packs and stuff like that you can buy from them.
On Amazon, they have the HDR, Luminar, and there's two other ones. One's the California Sunset. I don't remember what the other is for $129.
Okay. All right, so it looks like that sale ended. I didn't know when it was going to end, but I will keep you as updated as they put more sales out, because they do sales all the time and they keep pushing them to me. They tell us about them. So, but anytime you buy anything from them, if you use that WPS 10 code, you get a discount on it. So,
Okay.
I actually did the Luminar and the Aurora too.
did you?
Yeah, I got a free Amazing Sunsets or something it was called.
Yeah, I get when I got the HD or the HDR, it gave me something for free from them for that, and there was a couple others that was in the package that I bought. 5 or 6 other things that were in there that I got as well at a
Okay.
discounted price. They weren't free; they were discounted. But
I just looked it up and I pulled one up here. It says the award-winning Luminar 4 bundle ending in 6 days. Add to cart, $59.
where's that at?
Backsocial.com.
Okay.
And then it said, popped up here, get 10% off. Join millions of other subscribers or get exclusive discounts, freebies, and giveaways. Coupon code will be sent to my email address.
Well,
So,
use our coupon code, because then you help the club out a little bit.
right. Well, I'm just saying. I just did a search for it and it came up with $59.
Yeah.
Now, is that a one-time fee or is that a yearly fee?
It's a one-time fee. Yeah, it's a one-time fee, and you get performance upgrades, they said. I don't know if they come out with Luminar 5. I believe that will be another buy, but you get it as a discount because you're already a Luminar owner at that point.
And you probably don't have to upgrade unless you really want to.
No, you don't. They don't force you like Adobe does. So I also tried, I think I mentioned this at one of the other things. I tried the On1 software. I I downloaded their free trial to try it, and I could not in any way, shape, or form get it to work on my PC.
Really?
No, it opened a picture one time almost, and then it froze. And then after that, everything I tried, as soon as it opened up, it would freeze. I couldn't get it to do anything on my PC at all. So I deleted it off my PC, and we're going to move on with life as far as I'm concerned. But I know that some of you guys use that on one, but I could not get it at all to work on my PC. And this computer's well capable of running it. It just would not run it.
Yeah. The recent update that they sent out has made it kind of a few times on me, because it actually crashed, which nothing crashes on a Mac. I mean, that's
that's nearly impossible. Yep.
Yeah, it crashed just from opening it. It didn't even get to the like showing me my folders or anything.
Yeah,
and
that was what it was.
Another time it opened, but then it's taking longer to do stuff. And I think it's because of the way that they've added the On1 360, which I'm not using, but I don't know if it looks for that. And because it's not finding that like slows it down or something, but I don't know. But it's functioned mostly, but not as smoothly as it used to.
So the other one that we were talking about, what I'm doing is I'm slowly preparing for the end of the year when we're going to talk about the other programs. It was Capture One, I believe, right?
I think that's
Yeah,
I think that's what Jim uses.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I don't get it to work on my computer, he can.
If he doesn't want to do the On1 one, I can do On1.
Okay. Yeah, I know I can't because I can't get it to work. I don't know if Jim uses On1 on his computer or not. I know he's PC.
Yeah.
Capture One is on sale right now for 25% off. They are a buy or subscribe. I have to look at I have to spend a little more time understanding them. I don't understand. They have Capture One Pro, Capture One for Sony, Capture One Fujifilm, Capture One for Nikon. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I'll have to look a little bit more into their program. So that'll be my next project. Yeah, that looks very interesting. They're not giving me a price yet. I don't know. All right, so I'll look at that more over time and see what it does.
It started out as a thing for shooting tethered with the phase 1 backs on Hasselblads, I think.
Okay.
And it's expanded from there. So it doesn't support all cameras, I don't think, either.
Well, they have one listed here. The Capture One Pro, they said, is for all cameras.
Okay.
But I don't know. It says Capture One 20 Pro license plus 145 styles. One-time payment to own your Capture One 20 Pro plus save on a collection of, okay. Let's see what it says when I click buy now. Let me see what it's only $448.
Is that
Good
it?
deal.
Holy crap.
I'm not seeing anything like that. I've got it at Adorama here for 129.
I'm on their website.
Yeah.
And
That might be
if
the
you're
problem.
buying the full license, it's just the Capture One without the 145 styles is $299. And
It says Pro
you
20.
can do a subscription plan as well. at $169 a year.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to do some more research into that. The middle of our meeting's probably not the best time to research it, but I'll look at it and see what the deal is with it. Anyhow, anyone else got anything going on?
On Monday, our meeting is supposed to be the scavenger hunt. Were you going to give us a list ahead of time for us to find stuff like between now and then or after then?
Well,
or are we doing something different?
I don't know. That's a good question. I forgot about it being a scavenger hunt. So that's a good question. I think I originally had planned to give you guys stuff to show, but it's gonna be kind of tight to get everyone to find something in the next couple days since it's Wednesday at this point. I have to think about that. I will, I don't know. I have to think about that, Beth. I'll let everyone know by tomorrow or later tonight.
Oh, I know this doesn't have anything to do with photography, but quite a few of the restaurants as of tomorrow will not be having eat-in.
Yeah, I know. You guys down there in Westmoreland County's been bad.
It wasn't bad.
Some people.
We are not going to be having eat-in as of tomorrow. We are going to go back to all to-goes.
Yeah. I went after my adventure this morning. I was coming down off the mountain and was hungry. So I went to IHOP. And when I got there, you guys know I'm not a mask wearer, and I've expressed my opinion about that, so I'm not going to get into that part of it. But when I got there, I walked up to the girl, and she said, how many? I said, just me. And she said, okay. She said, do you have a mask? I said, no, I'm not wearing one. So she took me in, upset that I wasn't wearing a mask, but there was not a single person other than the waiters in the building wearing a mask. No one. Every table did not have a mask on. So I'm not sure why she was upset that I didn't have a mask on when the whole restaurant was full of people not wearing a mask. So I was confused by that, but.
Well, it's kind of hard to eat with a mask on anyways.
I have the same thought. The idea is to keep the mask clean and keep you from getting sick, but it's kind of hard to keep the mask clean if you're going to shove food in it.
Well,
so
it kind of, they tell you you're supposed to wear the mask till you get to the table and then take it off at the table, and then half the people that once they get done eating, they don't put them back on whenever they're leaving anyway. So kind of defeats the purpose of even putting it on, even going in. So I don't know.
Well, it cuts down on the number of exhalations. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
I just, well, like I said, I don't want to get into the whole political version of the mask, so I'm not going to, but I don't wear one that caused me issues with breathing and making me sick, so I don't wear one. So.
I've got those issues too, so I don't put it over my nose. I can't breathe.
I'm sorry, we're just talking about mask, and I happened to click on my Facebook tab, and I have to show you guys this.
I hate Facebook so much right now.
The hell was that?
This guy's got a plastic bag over his head. He got one wrapped around his hand.
Oh my God! I'm surprised she hasn't suffocated. Look at the lady with the coat on her face.
There's a lady up here with a cone on her face. This guy's got a paper bag on his head. This guy's wearing a water jug. Sorry, we were talking about mask and that just was there. I had to show it. Oh, okay.
They're humans. They're so funny.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
That's ridiculous.
That's
Well, by the end of all of this,
oh, the force
that's
be
what I'm
with
going to
you.
wear to Walmart.
The force be with you.
It's my organic vapors mask for doing Wardensage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's an actual legit respirator.
Yeah. That'd be the, that'd be
Still
the
having
heavy
friends
duty
at the
version.
lab.
That might work.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a heavy duty version.
If that doesn't filter it out, then it's not out there.
here, I'll show you the view of the sunrise this morning. I got that up on my screen now too. Let me show you that.
Wow.
That's
That, that was my view of the sunrise this morning. So,
wow.
Hey, that's a great shot of the sunrise.
yeah.
And on one, you can add sun flares and sun stuff
I
now.
can in Luminar. I could do in Luminar. We could just replace the sky, put a sun in there, and go ahead and put sun
Hey.
flares in and all that stuff too. So
We're just looking at layer 1.
Yeah.
So that was
just
taken
layer
at 6:00 a.m. this morning. Sunrise was at 5:58. So that was 2 minutes after the sun came up over the mountain there.
Jeez.
Are you sure?
Out here somewhere where the sun should have been.
You sure you're in the right place?
Oh.
So
I'm thinking that might have been kind of cool if you had your drone with you. You could go up just above the clouds.
Mm.
yeah, of course
That might have been cool.
You're not allowed to fly a drone in a state park.
Oh,
True.
Supposed to be a line of sight too.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be tough.
Yeah, line of sight there wouldn't have been very far.
Yeah. You could use that with composite stuff though, somehow probably.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did get some shots of some stuff that I thought was interesting.
That's
Yeah, I saw that one on Facebook, I think.
Let's see if this one will come up here. There you go.
There it is.
So I used it to my advantage. It just wasn't what I expected when I got there. So, you know.
Mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there was these cool, let me see here, maybe this picture here. Spider webs
Oh, that is nice.
with their, this one here was a better one. Let me go to this one.
It's delicate. Oh, that's even.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That was on the fence there at the end of that rock. So I said I used it. It was, you know, I got some stuff out of it. It just wasn't what I expected. And then when I was leaving, I found this little guy. I'm not sure if this is going to be the one that's in focus, but
Aw.
A chameleon?
Salamander.
Salamander.
some kind of little salamander.
Salamander.
a spotted newt.
Yep, red
He
spotted
kept-
newt.
Is that what it is? He kept walking around in circles on me. Like I'd take like 3 pictures here, and then he would turn around and go the other direction. So I'd have to move around to get pictures of him that way, and then he would turn around and go the other. He wasn't very. He was a little camera shy, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know. He sounded to me like he was working your camera.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. He might have been. And then I took this picture of the river. This is off the bridge down there in Ohio Powell, underneath the fog. And I saw this. I thought was pretty cool. So
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
that was my adventure this morning. I took a bunch of other pictures, but they were of my tiny truck. I had a new one that I went out and tested this morning too. So those you might see at some point, but they're not on here. I took them on my iPhone. All right.
I put up 3 of my New Brunswick doors.
You
They
did?
should be on. They're on the Reddit site.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Adding to the till. Should be a little further down. There we go.
There's one of them.
And I did a lot of straightening using the transform.
Okay.
But I had tried to gang them in a pano, and it didn't like it. It kept not wanting to take one of them. So I really didn't get what I want. So I put them up separately. This was in St. John's.
Okay. I like the weathered part of the top of that door.
Yeah.
That looks cool. It looks like it's got a story to tell.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dennis? Black and white in that one?
Maybe.
I think it might have some. It might have something in black and white. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I can transform. Take much to transform that to black and white. And look at it. One of the others. The thing is, with Reddit, you have to look at them one at a time. You can't roll across them.
Yeah, yeah.
One here that has a all black door.
I'll go ahead and switch to this one.
And then there's one with a brown door. It'll be interesting.
Here's the one with the black door there, Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I noticed the house, the apartment number is up there twice. It's one nice and clear, and if you look above it, you can see what's left of the same number that was up there before.
The old painted version of it.
They haven't finished taking it off yet.
Yeah.
There was a big red sign. I know you don't like little white areas and little distractions on the edges. And over on the left-hand side, just see that white horizontal that runs across the middle of the image.
Right here?
Just in the, yeah, right there where the hand is right now, there was a red sign about 2 feet by 2 feet square with some advertising on it. So I just used the stamp tool to take that out of there. And I just borrowed some brick from another part of the wall.
Cool.
Nicely done.
Done a good job.
Yeah.
I think you got another one on here too, don't you, Rex? Yeah,
There's one more. There's a brown door. The reason that I had chosen these 3 is the distance from the camera to them and the number of steps and the things around them I thought were close enough that I could get them ganged into a pano, but it wouldn't take it that way. Probably the best thing would be to create the background and then just slide them off onto it.
Like a triptych.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then maybe make the background with just a very low key texture of some kind. So it's not just flat black, but visible. So that I could put a frame around all 3 of them as a final.
We're learning details of Mary Kay Letourneau's final days. Her estranged
Whoops.
Is she in the club? It's with maybe with
Nice job, Rex. I always like your doors. You do a lot of doors.
well, I was looking at, I always try to make sure those drains running up and down that are close to the edge of the picture are pretty much right where they should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun. Thanks.
Nice. I seen on here some, let's see, that is a photographer. Oh, here's a critique. There, we can talk about that. That's Annie's picture.
Yep. Go for it.
It's a firework.
Delicate, very delicate.
It's more than one firework, but okay.
All right, it's fireworks.
Yeah. It is that.
I see after all these years you've learned how to take pictures of fireworks.
Really? Thanks. I might have learned one or two things over the years.
And there's no comments. You didn't tell us what your settings were or anything.
Oh.
Let's do. Tell me about it.
That's because some ding dong forgot. Melissa had a party.
I know. I've seen pictures.
On Saturday, and her husband and several of his buddies put together a fireworks show. So I know that was I used my 24 to 70. That was at 24 millimeter, ISO 100, 24 millimeters, I think that one's F14, and I think it was 3.2 seconds
Okay.
on the tripod. So they were setting them off. That's a pretty nice big fireworks. So just trying to see what I could get. Hadn't taken any fireworks for a little while, so.
What was your, what'd you say your ISO was?
100.
Okay, good.
I said, I'm pretty sure it was F14.
All right.
And
But we had a little mishap at our firework display. A hot amber went into his box of mortars. So we had a little bit of a explosion.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt?
Nobody got hurt.
Oh, that's it. That's a good thing.
But
No.
it said 200 mortars.
You said 200?
We had 200 in a box. And it
Oh my.
set the whole box off.
Uh-oh. All at one time.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's called the grand finale.
But you can see it on Facebook. So they shared it so he could see what happened.
Well, Melissa's got a nice sized backyard. I'm not sure how many acres she has in back of the house, but they went, they have a good bit of the property cleared, and they set up, cleared the back of the property across from, they have a tree line up there. And we were all laughing because the guys all put headlights on, and they all turned them red. So we said the aliens were up across there. Setting off the fireworks. So it was kind of funny because all you could see was these red headlamps going across the trees up there. Yeah. So it does, that one and the other one below it were both taken. Yeah. There was lots of stuff going on.
Yeah. It's good. It's nice and sharp. You got your, I mean, and everything's in there good. So your aperture was good and your focus point was good as to where the fireworks were going to be.
Yeah.
and your black background, you know, is good. So you don't have a lot of light going on back here. So make
Yeah.
good fireworks when you can get a good separation and just get to see the fireworks.
And
Yeah.
No
We were
smoke. No
we were
smoke
lucky.
haze. No
We
smoke
were-
haze. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We were lucky with that. There was just enough of a breeze going that there wasn't a lot of haze. That most of the smoke was disappearing. So I really got lucky with that because I took quite a few shots of that. I mean, look at the next one. There's a little more separate. There's more separation there, and it just was the smoke just kept getting out of there. So was really lucky with that, being able to, like, this one has 4 different, maybe 5. I think there's 5 different fireworks in there.
I like that.
And we got really lucky with that, with the smoke going away. So
Yep.
I got quite a few that were pretty clear.
They're
So, I
pretty
mean, you
good
can-
fireworks too.
What's that?
So they were pretty good fireworks too, considering they're illegal.
Yeah, they had some pretty big ones.
My neighbors, I had neighbors on both sides of my house that had fireworks, so I had my own personal fireworks display here.
Well, I was laughing because they're setting theirs off. The people on the right-hand side, right beside Melissa, they were setting fireworks off. People over on the left-hand side, they were setting them off. People across the street behind us were setting them off. I mean, there was fireworks going off everywhere around us. And so it was just a boom, boom, and a boom everywhere. But
I like this. Hey, Annie, you should print this on a piece of metal.
oh, that would look cool.
Oh, metallic. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would look pretty cool.
Yeah, either a metal print or a metallic print. Either way, this would be a good wall hanger here.
Mm-hmm.
Now zoom in. I think everything's pretty sharp on that one too. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that would be a good one for on a print, definitely.
I just might have to try that. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yep. Good job.
Thanks.
What else? Do we have anything else on here? Those are my stuff. We talked about that. Can't talk about that.
Oh, no, I have it up there as critique, don't I?
What's that?
The doors.
I didn't know what you meant. Can't talk about it.
Oh, no, we can't talk about this one here, the flower.
Oh, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, the doors we looked at, we can do those were okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing
Talk
is
about June ones.
I just was going to go to, yeah, we can take a look at June. Let me just filter this out to all June.
I did get my macro lens on Saturday.
Did you?
Congratulations.
Nice.
Played with it yet?
Yeah, I took some pictures at Melissa's house with it.
What is it, a 100?
105.
05.
Sigma 105 macro.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I got it for the sale price. Instead of being almost $1,000, it was on sale for $469. It was $500 off.
Ooh, that's
Nice.
I've wanted one for a couple years, so now was the time to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. Well, we could take a look at some of the June Photographer's Choice tonight if you guys want to take a look at those.
Works for me.
Sure.
Since
Let's do it.
that one's over. Who won, Marty, do you know?
Oh, the one in the newsletter? Oh, no. No.
The one in the newsletter, okay.
No, it wasn't. It was May's. It was the newsletter.
Someone get the newsletter.
And look, sorry.
Somebody gets a free subscription.
Well, let's look and see who won. So Margie's Black Lives Matter, Jim's Foggy Warning, Jim's Purple Warning, Floating on Air, Simply Beauty,
Purple Warning.
Purple Morning,
Purple Morning got
Black Lives.
2 votes.
It looks like there
faster
was
than Margie's.
a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
I forget what we do when we had ties.
The first
the
one
first-
to get the
First one
number.
that hit the, yeah.
So it looks like Purple Morning would have been the winner. Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, because the first vote would have been here. That was for Margie, and then there was a Foggy Morning and then a Purple Morning. And then we went to Purple Morning would have been the second vote in
That
that
was-
timeline. So it looks like Jim, you're on here. You won. If I'm reading that right, you won. It looks like.
To get it right, you do it by the order in which they received whenever it's a tie like this.
When
Yes.
when it's a tie, the first person to the tie is the winner. Basically, is how we do it. We used to do a repost those pictures and then do another vote, but that turned into a nightmare. So, all right, so let's go look at some pictures anyhow. All right, so we got this picture is whose is this? Annie. This is before the macro lens, I'm assuming.
Yep. That
Okay.
was taken with the 50 millimeter. When we were at the garden.
There you go, guys. I like the picture, but this out of focus here bothers me.
I think I had it down to 1.8
Yeah.
on that one.
I don't mind the out of focus on that bloom, but I mind the bloom off to the side that's out of focus, but not completely out of focus.
Yeah.
That was, it keeps dragging my eye off to the side.
Well, next time I'll just cut that little flower right the hell out of there.
That'd be a good idea. You could have just cut him out of there when you took the picture there. Just, I had a knife with me.
Well, yeah, this is true. I had one in my pocket, but I don't think the botanical gardens would have liked that too well.
They wouldn't notice.
I can see some little bee coming back saying, "Where in the hell is that flower I just told everybody about?"
Brian, how would you correct that slightly out of focus? You increase the aperture on this to the point that you could see it, but you still have the blurred background?
Well, the issue is the issue to get the blurred background, you need the lower aperture, but to get the depth of field, you need a higher aperture.
Right.
So one of the things you can do to fix that is buy a macro lens.
I did that.
So we're shooting this was shot with a 50 millimeter lens, so the nifty 50. The issue is when you have a wider lens like that, a 50 or 24 or 35 or any of that kind of stuff, is that you don't get the drop off as fast. So even though she shot at 1.8 or whatever it was, this really isn't all the way out of focus. Back here it is, but this flower isn't. It's still got a little bit of focus edge to it and stuff like that. So with a macro lens, you could get rid of this and have this completely out and still be able to shoot and get this guy in focus because your drop off on the depth of field comes faster. Does that make sense to you, Bob?
Right. But let's say you have a 35 millimeter camera that you want to, you have a group of people and you want the person in the front be the person in the back be as focused as the person in the front. And you still want to maintain the depth of field. So in other words, you play with the aperture and all that from whatever to 7 to 9.
Yeah, so if you're doing something like that and you want both to be, you want the person in the front and the person in the back, you need a deeper, more aperture.
Right.
F16, F11, F16, F22, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're shooting a group of people, it's very important that everyone be in focus. Then, like Rick said, we're looking at that F11 or higher, typically.
But you may lose the that blurred background by increasing
That is
your
correct.
aperture.
That is correct. Yeah, you have to kind of pick one or the other, but with it, when it's people, you have to have the people in focus. So if you got to maybe blur the background a little bit when you come back to post-processing, you can do that if you're careful. But separation from the background will help too.
I posted a link in the chat. It's kind of like a depth of field simulator. It does a decent job at actually showing different focal lengths and different apertures and like the sharpness and the bokeh and all that. So if Bob wanted to take a look at it, there's a link right there.
Yeah, there's several good apps for your phone too, for depth of field that you can kind of work with different, and it'll get you a good idea what lenses do what, as far as where your depth of field will be. Because f8 isn't the same on a 20 millimeter lens as it is on a 200 millimeter lens. They're different. But
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a look at this one. This is Annie's picture.
I like that. That's nice.
I'm liking this one. I think that's pretty.
I like that a lot.
I like how that one little piece is about to pop.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the settings on this one here? What are the settings?
It tells you underneath it.
Oh.
Does it?
That again, that was taken with the nifty 50.
50 millimeter lens, f1.8 at 1/640th of a second and 100 ISO. So the 1.8 on a 50 is going to get you some really, really nice blurred background. I like this because I actually like the pattern in the background. All the lines and edges back there that you can kind of, I think that really adds to the picture.
I like the composition, the placement, just a little bit to the left of center. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you.
Actually, you can even see like maybe a little bit of water down in here.
Yeah,
I know a
because
lot of the flowers had water on them out there that day.
Yeah.
Like
It had rained a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
Enough that some of those flowers had water on them.
Yep. Cool. I like that one.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, look, it's another Annie picture. I thought we were going to look at pictures, other people's pictures. I didn't know it was Annie's show.
Well, you know, hey, sorry I had 3 in a row.
All right. So here's another one. Let me go back here. Let's click over here and look at the settings. So we're again at f1.8, 50 millimeter, 1/400th of a second. Okay.
This almost looks like the bloomed version of the last one, based on like the green like spiky
Well,
leaves.
these spiky things here, yeah. I bet it is. That's a good catcher, Jim.
I mean, both
Did
photos
they
look
identify
really
it?
Yeah, it's a flower.
It's a pink flower.
It's been identified with
Yeah,
yellow.
that it was. I don't know what kind of flower it is. I just knew it was pretty, and you know, with the 1.8, I was playing with that nifty 50, and I really liked the way the background came out on this one. It's really soft, but the center of the flowers pretty sharp. And I don't know, just playing around, trying out the new lens.
So Annie bought a 50 millimeter lens while we were out there
For $89.
for 89 bucks. It was a nice lens used, good price. And I highly recommend anybody have a 50 millimeter lens in your bag. I don't leave home without it. It's always in my bag, because you can throw that on, and this is what happened here. It was so hot and miserable. It had rained a little bit, so it was still pretty humid. And Annie didn't want to carry all of her equipment, so I said, put the 50 on it and go for a walk. And you can do so much with a 50 millimeter lens. You really can. Just like this. This is a good example of what can be done with a 50 millimeter lens. And that flower is not huge, so you can get pretty close to it. You got a nice depth of field. It's almost like a macro shot. And the 50 is just so versatile. So it's a really good lens to have in your arsenal of lenses to carry with you.
And it's lightweight to carry.
Right.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, they're usually, really light. They're small. It's just nice. You throw that on, take your camera, and go for a walk. So
My 35 millimeter stuff that I started out with, the really ancient stuff, I have a 55. They didn't.
Yes.
I don't know if they even had a 50 at that point, but I have a 55 that is just sweet.
I actually have a 55 sitting on my kitchen counter right now. It's actually a Nikkor 55 millimeter macro lens.
Oh.
So it was a regular, 55 millimeter lens, but it had the macro built into it. So it was a really good carry lens on a film camera is what I used it for.
Huh.
And it was like I said, it's sitting on my counter. It can go on a camera right now and use it.
Yeah, my 55 is older than I am, and I still get great stuff with it.
Yep. Anyhow, back to the flower. I think that your depth of field's really good. I would like to have seen it maybe just a little bit more depth of field.
Yeah.
Just to get a little bit more in this front section up here, a little bit more in focus.
Yeah.
So like you shot this at 1.8, maybe 2.2.
Okay.
Would have been a little bit different.
And that would still give you a cool background.
Yeah. Yeah. But your focus point, where you focused at, is dead on. It's sharp. This guy, that's really enlarged, but that guy's sharp in there. Through there, that's. Anybody else got anything to say?
Well, I was thinking about what you were talking about in terms of stopping it down a little bit. I'm not shy about stopping down, because if the background, now of course it does depend on the subject, and this would probably be a fairly easy subject to do it, to go ahead and stop down so that you know that you have every bit of that flower and the petals around the outside, and not much care about how soft that background is, because when you get it up in Photoshop, you select that image, then reverse it, and then you start putting out of focus as much as you want. You have full control.
That's easy for you to say, Rex.
Easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do a subject selection and select that flower, do an inverse selection, and then start using like a Gaussian blur.
Exactly.
And you can blur that as much as you want or as little as you want to that background. So it is, you can do it. It's only a few steps. So I wouldn't worry about that. But like I said, if you stop down just a little bit on this,
yeah,
I think you'd have got just a little bit more closer to the in focus in this front section right in here.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean. Well.
And like I said, not much. Like a 1.8 to 2.2 maybe, or 2.8 at the most. It's probably all you needed for that.
Probably. Hey, first time playing with that lens.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, well,
I
definitely.
I find myself doing that too. Like I'll shoot a picture with at 1.4, and then I start backing that off and putting more depth into it until I get to where I wanted. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of times I end up right around that 2.2 area, 2.2, 2.8 is where it usually ends up being the best focus for what I'm trying to do with it.
Okay.
In a shot like this, do you do anything with the focus area? Should it be wide or center, or does anyone have opinion about the focus area on a subject like this? Granted, you increase the focus area, but I mean the depth of field. But do you do anything with the focus area on your camera?
As far as like if I would have changed the aperture and I'd have still focused dead in the center like she did.
Okay.
Because your aperture, you get a little bit more towards the front, and a little bit more towards the back. So I'd have still probably focused right here.
So do you do a focus? I mean, in the Sony camera, there's focus wide, focus center areas. Do you change that at all, or you just kind of go to the wide area and just stay there? Aperture.
My Nikons, I turned all that stuff off. I only focused dead center.
Okay.
Same on mine.
Yeah.
Well, Pentax.
Mine's got center point too.
I always kept getting the buttons to move it around because I'm left-eyed. So I turned all that off so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I don't. I have all that stuff turned off on my Nikon. I just don't. I like it to focus at one point where I pick it to focus at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I know what you mean. I think we talked about that once before, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
The different focus areas in your camera, which this camera has the ability to, it focuses on a wider area or a narrow area. You can change it back and forth. But my cameras are set to focus at one point, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have mine set to do that too. I can focus in, I forget how many different areas, but I have mine on the center point.
Yeah.
Do you lose anything by doing that? I mean, as far as the focus on outside that center point?
No, because I mean, I don't really know how your camera works, but you can only focus in one spot.
Right.
You know, your depth of field is what's going to give you more area of focus. But the camera's still only going to pick focus for an area, one spot. Now, your camera may use a bigger area to pick where that focus point is, but it's still only one place. And that's the reason I only use just a single spot to focus with. That way I know exactly where the focus is going to be, and I know what my camera's doing. It's focusing where I told it to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
When I had mine so that it would pick, it would always pick a spot that wasn't where I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I know that the Nikon has a dynamic focusing built into it that you can do, and it'll predict focusing points and stuff like that. The only thing I've ever used that on was I tried it on some race cars at the Vintage Grand Prix in Shenley Park, and I turned it off shortly after that because I went, no, I don't like that. I would just rather, I don't know, but it's the way I came up as far as photography. We had one focus point in all our cameras, and that was it. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't use that stuff. Some people do, but I just don't think for me, it doesn't work. Put it that way. Okay, let's move on to a different picture. All right, Jim, you're on. We can talk about your picture.
Yeah, sure.
That's a nice photo.
Hey, we could add some mountains in the back of that picture.
A little bit of stars and moon and
yeah.
Nice level horizon.
Yeah, and it's
first stop. Nice level horizon.
It's not a typical Pittsburgh shot.
I really like how the river just does the S thing. That's just
Yeah. The lighted building in the foreground.
I like this. We know it's Pittsburgh, but like Dennis said, it's not the typical Pittsburgh shot because the point and all that stuff's not in it. So it's the other area of Pittsburgh kind of thing, 376 going up around the corner there. I know the parking garage that's there. This parking garage, I've been in that many times.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a, like you said, it's a different view of Pittsburgh. This is Station Square down here, I believe.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I like that. I've taken a shot like this in the past, and I always like that view of the river. That I think Beth mentioned the S turn in the river. I like that view of the river.
Yeah.
Yep.
It shows off the bridges really well too.
Yep.
I've tried this shot a couple different times too, and it never looked as good as it did on this morning, just because it was purple and a little bit hazy, and just didn't really like Beth was saying with the bridges. It kind of just stood out like in person. It's like it looks a lot better this morning than a typical morning.
Yeah.
What I see, what I like, it looks to me like the focus sharp in the middle ground, in the foreground. I mean in the foreground, the middle ground, and all the way into the background. It looks like you have the sharpness there. You had it covered all the way out to infinity. Looks good, at least from where I'm looking at it here. Like I'm looking at the S turn in the highway as it goes up there on the upper left-hand side, and it still looks nice and sharp from here.
Yeah.
It does get a little soft if you have it at 1:1, but it does maintain the focus. But I know exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. It looks nice and sharp in all three sectors.
If you look at the bridges, there's no traffic on them, and in the parkway, it looks like only 2 cars are there heading into Oakland or that. So it's kind of a unique picture, at least from this perspective. That what was that, 6 o'clock in the morning?
About 5. It was 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Okay.
Ryan, I'm fascinated by these shadows directly above Station Square, the second bridge, right above the bridge. It looks like there are shadows from buildings or something. Can you zoom in on that area?
I think that's from the bridge. Yeah.
Up higher, right there in that area.
Looks like the lights from the bridge.
Yeah, there's little walkway lights on there. Yeah, or they might even be street lights. I don't even know.
Oh, that's
Street lights.
those are reflections.
That's over to the south side. That's street lights.
Yep.
Yeah, they correspond.
It's razor sharp.
Yep.
I'm sure your original is even sharper.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really nice picture. And like I said, I always like this view of Pittsburgh because, as Dennis said, it's just not the typical view of Pittsburgh. But I like this.
The general question for you guys, I notice whenever I upload files to Reddit, it kind of messes with the color a little bit. I was using like a standard like SRBG color profile, but in my version, I realize that there's difference between like, a JPEG and a TIFF and all that, but it seems like mine on my computer at home, even on the JPEG, it's a little bit more like the building in the foreground is more orange. I noticed that the colors get slightly shifted. Does anybody else notice that at all?
I'd have to see it next to the original, but one thing is that different browsers will actually render things differently too.
Okay.
So if you're looking at it on IE versus Safari, it might look a little different.
Okay.
As well as whatever Reddit might do.
Because I've noticed, like, even with stuff I've uploaded to like my website and stuff, like I'll if I put something on Reddit or I don't know, like I don't even really do Facebook anymore, but if I were to put it on there, I notice that it shifts way more than if I just upload it to like my website.
Right, and that is because it runs through their compression program. So when you upload it, you have that issue. We've always had that issue as far as photographers go in the different places we've used. Reddit is one of the better ones, but the best we ever had was back when we had the Ning website. They were the best at not
Yeah.
screwing with your photos.
Yeah.
What site was that?
It was when we worked with Ning, N-I-N-G.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago though, and they priced us out of their business, so we couldn't work with them anymore. But yeah, everything Facebook's horrible as far as color shift and stuff like that. They're the worst because of their compression that they put through, you know, every photo that goes uploaded to them. But Reddit's one of the better ones. But yeah, there is definitely a shift in color. I've noticed that on more than one occasion.
Okay.
Because I'll work hard on a color and then I put it on Reddit and go, well, hell, that ain't even close to what I had on here. But unfortunately, that's it's part of the deal. You can't get away from it, I don't believe. But I know when I post stuff on my website, it's usually a whole lot closer to what I had on my screen. So I agree with you there, Jim.
Okay. Yeah, I was just confirming. I didn't know if I was going nuts or what. But the prints always come back as I want them to, so I never argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't repeat what a print does online. The print's definitely the way to go. It's always going to be a better view of your picture. All right, nice picture.
Jim, did you try dehaze on this one at all?
No, I did not.
It cries out to me that to try dehaze if it was my picture. I don't know what it would do, but I would try it.
Yeah, I might give it a shot. I touch it sometimes, but dehaze is one of those things I always forget about until after I'm already done with it. And if I do it, it kind of alters so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do the dehaze early on in the process.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. That way you correct after the dehaze. If you do all your corrections and then do dehaze, you'll get weird results. But if you do dehaze earlier on in your workflow, then you can correct afterwards for the shifts that it makes.
It's a fantastic picture of Pittsburgh.
Yep, great shot, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Candace, she's never on our things here. We can talk about her deer if you want. Let's at least take a look at it. I do believe that is a baby fawn in her lettuce. Or somebody's lettuce.
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb. Lettuce, rhubarb, it's all green. Lettuce tastes better than rhubarb, though.
Yeah.
Depends. If rhubarb is mixed with strawberries just right, it can be pretty tasty.
I'll take your word for it. Neat catch, though, to find a fawn hanging out in your garden.
Yeah. I was going to say she had a good eye to see the baby laying in there.
Yep.
Not good for the garden, though.
Mama had to be fairly close by somewhere.
Yeah, I would say. The only thing that bothers me about this picture, and you guys know I do this all the time, this stick right here is killing me.
Yeah.
that right there, I have to get rid of that.
Yep.
And I might crop the bottom of this off and get rid of this grass down here too. But still, like I said, it's a neat find. It's a good shot. I wish I could see the face of the deer and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But pretty cool.
But she probably would have got closer. Deer would have left.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yep.
No doubt what it is, though.
Nope.
All right. So here we got. We can take a look at Margie's picture. She loves critiques, even though she's not online here.
Yep.
She gave us some information. D750 D750 f8 of 1 at 400 of the second, 100 ISO at 18 millimeter, and of course manual for Margie. All right. So this was a Black Lives Matter protest in Ligonier. And I'm really, really surprised that she turned this into black and white, because she almost never does anything in black and white.
Mhm.
So that impresses me just to start off with.
Well, I think it really fits the scene, because I think that lets you focus on the people, which are in a great diagonal too.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if it were color, you'd be looking at what are they wearing? Look at all the pretty leaves on the trees, and I think it's more of a journalism shot, and it works
Yeah.
better in black and white than it probably would in color.
I do agree. I
That's me
absolutely, I
saying.
agree with you.
Yep.
And to add to what Beth said, even the signs, I don't know how quickly I would have read them if this was in color, but the fact that it's in black and white, I read every single sign like as I was going down the line of them.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Yeah, this would have been a newspaper shot, no doubt about it. As Beth said, as a photojournalist, if she'd have submitted this to their newspaper, they'd have probably used it, because it's definitely tells
good
the story of what's going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You don't need to write an article.
No, this would be a very good, well, it wouldn't be a front page shot because they always use color on front page, but it would definitely be a big picture in a newspaper. It's what we would have referred to as a 6:6 picture. So it would have been a 3-column, the full width of the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish she was.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wish she was on here so we could talk to her about it, but
Yeah.
it is a very good storytelling picture, and it's definitely, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I heard depth of field is really good on it too.
Yep.
I was just taking down some little notes on it. I've got in here patterns. I mean, that are bold enough. Patterns, detail, texture, vanishing lines, and all the shades of gray, well sorted out. I like the clouds, almost look like they're illuminated back there.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully done.
Yep.
There's a lot of elements in there. All nice.
I would have cropped out a little bit of the sidewalk, the bottom.
Let me take these pictures of ourselves
Yes,
off
sir.
in here a second. What is it?
Robert's saying to maybe crop a little bit closer on the bottom section down here. Take a little bit more of the sidewalk out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of distracting with that pattern.
I don't
Yeah,
know though.
but in a way, the pattern kind of draws your eye right to the people, though, too, with the
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You could probably take maybe
An
about
inch
that
or
much
so.
off of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and still achieve the same goal. Is the pattern would bring you in, and then the
Mhm.
cross line here would still work. But yeah, good shot, Margie. All right, here's a Margie picture.
You think she took that out at night, or she put a flash on?
Yep.
The
I would guess she did.
Or both.
Yeah.
the red flowers are dramatic. The green leaves are overpowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red flowers are nicely done.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the leaves.
You know, because a lot of times when you do reds on a digital camera, they oversaturate. This is nice.
If you had changed the flash angle, used an off-camera flash and flashed the flowers up a little bit and got some fall off down here, that would have been better. Or just go into Photoshop and burn this in, get it a little darker, you know.
Yeah.
Sections.
A quick option, I don't know how well it would work, you'd have to see it, but take the gradient filter and drag it up from the bottom.
Yeah.
So that it fades into the brightest part of the picture above the brightest leaves.
Yep.
Grass leaves. I mean green leaves.
Let's see.
Gradient filter.
Yeah, I agree, Rex. You could do that, definitely. And Dennis, I definitely agree with you that red's a tough color for digital cameras.
Yeah.
And the red on here is really good.
Yeah, unusually so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail left.
Yeah, see, I like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, that would be a good crop, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, the leaves on the bottom just don't, to me, they're distracting. They just don't do anything, add anything.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's see. Did she f6.3 200 100 ISO 70mm manual, and she didn't say she used her flash, but we definitely can see she did. So, all right, let's see what else we got here.
Oh, nice.
Suzanne's not here, but we'll take a look anyhow. I don't think Suzanne's here. No, she's not here. That's a creepy crawly. I don't like them things.
Nope.
You guys talk about that. I'm going to go get more drink. I'll be right back.
That's a little creepy crawly.
I think he's
There's
kind
a
of
lot of, there's a lot of detail in the creepy crawly.
Yeah.
He's definitely got a lot of yeah.
He's fuzzy.
Yeah.
He's cute.
You don't see the web though.
Well, I think he was walking across that plant. I know she took that out at Mill Creek whenever we were up in the garden. But yeah, she definitely got a lot of details in the creepy crawly.
Yeah.
Focus is really good on it.
You're saying that he was that big?
Oh, he was teeny weeny. That's one of those teeny weeny creepy crawlers.
It looks like he's got 3 eyes across the front. I can't see any others.
Yep.
Got one in the middle, one on each side.
Oh, it looks like there's like 4.
There's one here, 1, 2, 3, 4 at least.
Oh, pano. And pano view.
So, yeah, I think she did really good with getting all the details of creepy crawly.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Probably 5, right? Is that, well,
I don't know.
4.
I think the lighting on this is really good too.
Yeah.
As far as it fades off over here on the right corner over here, so you got your lighting is in your subject, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's as good of a spider shot as I would like to see. I don't know. I'm just not I don't like spiders, so.
Oh.
Did you put what lens you use?
Let's see. 1/400 f9. No. She didn't tell us what lens she used.
You know what? She looked like she was using that day when we were in the garden. It looked like she was using an older lens. She had.
You know what? She was using a macro lens.
Was she?
A Minolta macro lens on her camera.
That's what I was going to say. I think she has a Minolta.
I think it's the Minolta one is either 100 or 105 millimeter, if I remember correctly.
Well, it
I
said
think it said 100 on there. I think it said 100 millimeter.
it
Did
did.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 100 millimeter macro lens that she was using that works on her digital camera. She has a lot of older Minolta lenses, which were actually really good lenses, but they're unfortunately went away. But those lenses work on her camera, and she's been buying them. And yeah, it was a macro lens for sure. I know that now.
It's a nice photo. I like the detail in the hairs on the plant too. Kind of ties it into the hairs on the spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely captured a lot of details in there, that's for sure.
Yep. All right, let's see what else we got. Ooh,
I really like
this
that one.
one.
I wish
This
the
is
one
12.
petal wasn't cut off on the side.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back and look at the detail first, real quick here. 400 f6.3, same lens, 100 millimeter, ISO 250. Okay. Now we're back.
Nice, except for the petal being cut off.
Yeah, really got a lot of good details captured in that.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Yep.
The raindrops and the way that the water looks where the stems go in, it all works together really well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the mood of the photo too. The little darker
Yeah.
saturation of color. I like it. And I would, as far as this petal here, like you guys said, it's cut off, so I don't like that. But even if you'd have just cut it down through here and cut all three of them off a little bit,
Yeah.
might have adjusted for that a little bit instead of the one petal sticking. You know, we see it's missing. Cut all three of them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'll tell you what I would do, and it's a hell of a project. But I would create another inch on that right side and build that flower, because the rest of the background is probably easy to replicate.
Yeah.
It's all dark. It's all even. It's not like there's a complex of things in there that you could just fake the you know what out of it, and then just build the rest of that flower. It'd be so easy. I mean, building the flower part of it, but adding your background and then bringing in the content aware would be busy.
It's a good picture. It's nice and sharp. I like it.
I do too.
I can tell she's really improving with her photographs too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Who's Jelly?
Well, I always forget to go look and see what there's no information. Okay.
That's Beth.
Tell us about it.
It was probably with the 18 to 70, which is a kit lens. And I don't remember, it was probably pretty close to between 50 and 70-ish. And handheld. And an aquarium.
Oh,
remember that?
That's how you
Major creepy crawling.
Jellyfish are cool.
They're neat. Till they sting you.
They're pretty painful. Yeah.
What?
I just defeated the undefeated
I
champion.
really like the color on this thing. Just that
I do too.
light green really is neat.
Yeah.
I like how the center of the jellyfish has the light in them.
Mm.
You can
This
see
down here all looks like kind of like a fog that he was, I know it's not, but it kind of looks like, you know what I mean? Like a fog type.
Yeah.
Smoke or something.
Why is the background blue?
Because those were the lights in the aquarium.
Probably painted blue.
They actually had, the lights kept changing color. So different jellyfish would contrast with the background depending on what color it was.
It's nice.
This was at the aquarium in the Smokies in Gatlinburg.
Oh, okay.
It's a good shot. It's nice and sharp too. I like it.
I like it.
And he was moving, and it's handheld.
Good job.
Something you don't normally see ever.
Yep. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? This one's from Beth. Was there any? Nope. Okay.
No, I didn't. That is, I think that's from the Sky Bridge. And it was just like, I don't know, probably F11, maybe even F8, because it was just kind of hazy and cloudy and kind of meh. So I figured I'd move it into black and white and kind of pop things up a little bit.
I like it. I've been down there and I know what those mountains look like.
Yeah. I wish I could have like really gone into the Smokies and actually done stuff, but we were only there to pick up a truck from somebody and then drive it back. So we were there for like a day and a half.
Yeah, you would have enjoyed the ride through there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we went on one hillside behind Gatlinburg that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was
Could you
glad
make
that.
it a little more contrasting?
What?
It's not very contrasty.
I tried to bump it up a little bit, but it really wasn't a contrasty day.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, I don't even think it was sunny at all. I don't remember even wearing my sunglasses.
There's a lot of days down there that the Smokies look like that. No matter, I've been down there twice, and both times that I've been there, whenever I've taken the pictures of the mountains, they all seem to always have that haze on it. That's why they've called them the Smoky Mountains, because they constantly almost look like they have, the smoky look to them, no matter what. So, and I like the black and white. A lot of times you see people do the Smoky Mountains with a light blue coloring to them.
They didn't really have a blue to them when we were there, but.
All right. What else we got here? This is Sandra. She's not here. She's never on, so we can take a peek. Those are birds.
I like the baby birds. Got a lot of detail. Huh?
There's a lot of good detail in there.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
They're having a bad hair day.
I think it's their feathers growing in.
I know that.
Either that or they just decided somebody scared the crap out of them.
They're trying out for a Jim Henson program.
There you go.
The detail though is like you guys said. I mean, just look at the detail in the feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are they? Baby catbirds? It didn't say what they are, did it?
It said house finches.
House finch.
House finch.
Oh, okay.
There are 4 of them in the picture, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Yeah. Cool. I believe she said that the nest was photo shot on 6/22. The nest on the 2 days later was empty. So they were just about ready to move on out.
Yeah.
Cat girl.
Got them just in time.
Here is Jim Murphy's picture. Let's see what he got any information here. Photo taken at Twin Lakes Park, 6:30 a.m. on a foggy morning. 200 millimeter, 200 ISO, 1/40th of a second f8 on a tripod.
Very good.
Mm,
Very dramatic.
yeah. I love that he got the whole reflection of the heron without getting the weeds across any part of the heron's head,
Yeah.
the foreground ones.
Some ducks.
Yep. Yeah, I like he's got the rock, or what is that? Oh, that looks like the
walkway.
That's
walkway,
path,
the walkway, the heron, and 1, 2, 3, 4 ducks. It all kind of right in a row there.
Mhm.
Draws your eye across.
I like how even the reeds, you know, it gives you that depth of field where it's not just a flat gray.
Yeah.
It's got just enough detail in it to not overbearing the bird. And I forget what I'm trying to say. I like it.
It's definitely minimalist.
That's the word I was trying to get to. It's minimalist. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I like that a lot. And the reflection of the heron is just like I think Beth pointed out. I just like that. It really fits in there.
It's placed just right.
Yep.
Anybody have thoughts about cropping down from the top and in from the right-hand side?
Yeah, this
No.
Good idea.
I don't think so.
I think it needs that space.
Yeah, I think that space balances that picture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's worth looking at. Yeah.
All the detail is there.
You know, sometimes what the crop is can have a lot to do with the size. If you were making a 40 by 50, you would probably want to crop it different than, say, a 4 by 5. As a 4 by 5, you might be able to do just that, crop it in real close. When you have the square area of a 40 by 50 to make that dramatic minimalist thing, you might want to crop it differently, even if they have the same ratio.
Yeah.
I guess my thought is the rock or whatever it is on the right kind of drags down that side of the picture for me.
Yeah, the
You're
weight.
liking that a little bit better?
I think the word would be, yes, but I think the word would be the visual weight. In other words, the amount of attraction or distraction, whichever you want to call it. But the weight of the objects in the picture, are they valid? Is it a weight that brings you towards it and that you want it? Or is it something that you'd like to see out of there? You know, does it take up too much attention? Does it compete with the bird? Does it compete with the ducks? That kind of thing.
I think it kind of anchors it, because without it, I think that they'd just be kind of floating in space a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it offsets all that negative space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. Good points, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got here. This is yours, right, Alan?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I did that again. Any information? D750, 6/40th of a second, f3.2, 200 millimeter, and ISO 100.
This was a morning like you had. I went up to Beam Rocks and it was all fogged in.
So you find something else to do.
Yep.
Mhm.
That
Is
was
it-
about all the further you could see, 5 feet.
That's what, mountain laurel?
Yeah, that's the laurel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. You'll go through one area and it'll be all pink, and then you go through another area and it's all white.
Huh. Well, I like the detail of the flowers, but this guy over here is killing me.
Yep.
These leaves right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much. I don't have the option to actually crop the way I would like, but I would just almost literally just cut that side off. Let these flowers kind of be to the right side of the picture, and get this leaf right here. These set of leaves right here are just, to me, I just keep looking at those instead of the flowers.
And for me, it's the left side.
Well, we could do kind of more of a square look to it and go through here kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Vertical.
Pull, or vertical, but pull this section out of the picture. Kind of lose a little bit over here, lose these leaves over here, and that probably would be, I think it would be a better crop. I mean, but it's your picture, not mine. I'm just as my thoughts go, that's where I'm looking at. But the detail here is really good. The detail in this set of flowers is really good. And the depth of field's nice. Anybody else?
Well.
Okay. Everyone else being quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Nice shot though, Alan.
Thank you.
See, I really do like the detail here. I like that set of flowers.
Yeah.
All right. So we got another creepy crawly 125th or no 125th of a second, 5.6, 90 millimeter, 100 ISO.
Ooh, spider.
I actually had my dogs with me, and there was people coming, so I had to hook them up on a leash, and happened to see this, so it gave me something to do. Well, I waited till they passed.
Okay.
I personally would think that I would like the spider to be more in focus.
There's a flower bud on the left, a small closed one that's in more focus than the spider. And yeah,
Yes.
that one. And it
Yeah.
kept dragging my eye away.
I think your focus plane was just a hair off from the spider. It looks, because this is in focus here,
Yeah, thank
but
you.
the spider is obviously a little further back than here.
I was having a hard time with that piece of leaf that's sticking up in front of them.
Oh, this one here, this coming
Oh,
up here?
yeah.
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 So a little bit more depth of field would have probably got your spider, or a more of a focus point on the spider itself. But you're definitely got a sharp focus. It just doesn't seem to be right where we would like to see it at. Because I mean, the detail in the flower is pretty good. You know, I think we'd like to see this the daddy long leg with the a little bit more attention to it.
What's the f-stop on that one? Did we already see that?
The f-stop is
5.4,
5.6.
5.6.
Going to
Oh, come
F8
on.
would probably help, but then your shutter speed would have been like a 15th or slower,
Yeah.
which might have been tough. Cindy, what are you doing? Why is she trying to hide?
All right.
Thunderstorm.
What else we got here?
She's welcome.
The shot of Jim's.
See.
And again, I forget to look over here. ISO 200, 85 millimeter, 12 millimeter plus a 25 millimeter extension tube. 4.5 at 1/200th of a second. So you had a 12 and a 25 millimeter extension tube one.
Yeah, I went all out.
All right. That tells me that this thing was pretty small. Well, it looks like a sweat bead, so it's pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tiny. You couldn't almost see it on the flower, and the flower itself isn't that big either.
Yeah.
That handheld, Jim?
That's handheld, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
I did a burst shot, and what I did was I guess I could show you. With the camera, I would go back and forth just a little tiny bit, and I just kept it on. I don't know if it was low speed burst or high speed burst, but I was like, all right. And it was a little windy too, so I figured eventually I would catch it. And I probably took about 10 frames or so, and I caught one where it was right in the focal plane like that. And my tripod has like one of the, it's not one of the ones that the center tube can move. So the lowest I could get it on the ground is like, I don't know, like 16, 18 inches. And this was like 8 inches off the ground. So I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? So I just gave it a shot.
Really nice and sharp.
He is sharp.
Really.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
If you guys have never messed with extension tubes, that's not the easiest thing to work with.
Nope. It is not.
A little practice, but they're cheap.
But I like the technique that you used with as far as when you're hand holding with extension tubes and that's probably the best technique you probably could have come up with, is just let it move a little bit and see what happens and shoot some burst. But you definitely caught it. It works good. Looked good.
And it wasn't moving either, so that I benefited from that. Like the fly wasn't moving at all. He was just feeding or sleeping. I don't even know. I don't know what they do there, but
very nice. I like it. All right. This is Michael's. He didn't put any information on here. So did it even say where it's at? It's bike rack. No, so we don't know where it's at. What was that?
That's by Duff Park.
Duff Park? Okay.
Yeah, that's there's a little turn in for where you can turn in there, and there's a bunch of hiking trails and a bike trail that runs, I think, to Export and all the way down through Monroeville at I can't remember, the BY Park or something like that. So that's one of the parking lots you could park in. Lots of things to see back there.
We took a photo walk down there last year.
Oh, okay.
We did one at Duff Park where we went and did spring flowers.
Yep. Was that last year?
I do believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was last year.
It's an interesting interesting sculpture, I guess you'd call it. Modern art, I don't know. I just cannot get over the do not enter sign. I like the flag on the right. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But that do not enter sign is killing me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to do a Rex and get in there and just get rid of that stuff. Because I don't think you want to crop this picture, because then you lose this, you lose the cement here. But
yeah,
I would have to get in there and get rid of that and do a little bit of work and make that part disappear.
You could do without the foreground, the gravel.
Yeah, you could cut the majority of that bottom half off too.
Yeah.
You might be able to angle it, like if you were to go and go like stand off to the left of, I guess it's I don't know what the rack is, like a oil derrick or something. I'm not even sure.
Looks like that's what it was supposed to be.
and then
Yeah.
Right there.
flag in the background somehow. That might be an interesting shot too, but
Yeah.
Like the juxtaposition of the do not enter in the flag.
Yep. Interesting. Interesting. I would really like to see the do not enter sign go away though. All right. What else? Ooh. Here's Candace again. Any information? No information. We got a bird.
Carolina wren.
A what?
It's a Carolina wren.
Carolina wren. Okay.
My favorite little bird.
They're cute. Sadie, what?
Looks like he's
He only has
nestled in.
2 tail feathers, or maybe 3. I don't know.
Building a nest.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like he's bringing some materials back.
Yep.
Anything else? Nope. All right. Oh, hey, just about in time. We got one more picture here.
Yeah.
Here's Rex's. This is Rex's picture. He doesn't have any information on it, but he's online, so he can tell us.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I can find it if I. Well, I can tell you the lens is a 70 to 200. I think it's at 200, and it has a 2x teleextender on it, and that's my neighbor and I. We live in a duplex, and we both have bird feeders, and this is his bird feeder. And I can't give you the immediate exposure and all, but what I liked were the 2 birds on the left look like they're having a conversation, and the one on the right looks like it's listening, hence the title that I gave it.
I got to see what your title was now that you mentioned it. Overheard during dinner. Okay. That fits well. That fits well. I like that.
Yeah.
Looks like 3 different species of birds too. The red one is a house wren, I believe.
House finch.
House finch, yes.
They're all different varieties of finches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the brownish one I think is a sparrow. And the one in the back is a chipping sparrow, which is actually a type of finch.
Well, pinch me up.
Tell you what, just stand, if you just give me a couple of seconds, I get Lightroom up, I can tell you exactly what the exposure was. And I was using a flash fill on there. I have the camera mounted on a bracket on a tripod and with a radio operated cable release. Okay, here the Lightroom is cranking itself up, and let me just go to the keyword list. And as soon as I get it alive, all right, come on here, keyword list.
All right. Well, Rex is doing that. Let's. I think
Sure.
that was the last picture. Go ahead and keep looking, Rex.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good group of photos for the June Photographer's Choice. So to all of you that submitted, thank you. I missed it by about 5 hours when I woke up and went, oh crap. So I didn't get to submit anything this time. I will have something for July for sure, though.
That's all right. I got mine in just in time. I think it was 2 minutes till 12.
Oh, my internet.
So there's a next newsletter too. I would like to see some of our days into night photographs so I can pick for the new the cover page. So that was that's kind of like a challenge for you to get and do that.
Do what?
Okay, what kind of photos do you want for the?
We did.
We were changing the day into night photos.
Oh.
Remember I did the tutorial?
I don't think Annie was on for that.
I was not.
Oh,
I missed that one.
it should be posted on our
Reddit.
Reddit or YouTube video. YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was, but you have to look and see. It should have been. Is that our just regular SWG meeting?
Not that. I thought that. Yeah, it was a regular SWG meeting.
All right, so the tutorial will be in that video right there, SWG 6/25/2020.
Okay.
And you know you can get to our YouTube channel by clicking on the WPS YouTube channel button right there.
Yep.
So I posted.
I would like to see like a before and after shot.
Okay.
And if I don't get anybody entering anything, then I'll have to figure out something else to put on the cover. But I thought that would give us a chance to work on something and have your work shown.
I can definitely do one. I have one that I can put together and work for you.
I'll have to look.
Yeah, if those of you that don't know, we have the YouTube channel, and most of these meetings, unless Annie says something I'm not allowed to post online, we post a copy or a recording of these Zoom meetings on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and take a look at them if there was something that you wanted to see, or one of our tutorials or something like that. They're on here, so you're welcome to go back and look at them. There's a bunch of them on here at this point. So,
and the day to night videos, I have that in the newsletter as well. There's like 2 or 3 on there.
all right. Rex, was you able to find that picture yet?
No, I can't default.
That's all right.
Not critical. Not critical.
So, all right, guys. So keep posting pictures. Don't forget we have our July Photographer's Choice going on right now. It's up and ready to go. Looks like we got 1 entry so far on that. And feel free to post some critique photos too, because Jim Murphy will need something to talk about one of these meetings too. So I took a bunch of his stuff tonight that he normally would have done. So post some up for critique. There's a couple in here. There's a nice rose. I like that. So there's a few on here already. We'll get some more on here.
And thank you, Brian, for putting those challenges on Reddit for me.
Oh, it's not a problem.
I can't get to work at my end.
I know it's actually not an easy thing to do. It's a multiple step process to get those to show up. So, but it's no problem. So here's another picture of Lantern Mill. Let's take a quick peek at that, and then we're going to end the meeting. This was Susan's, I believe.
Yeah, that one's Susan's.
Yeah, I like this.
I like that. I love the color of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how she got those colors, but I like it.
I think we because I don't believe that we were there in the fall. It was actually just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But this definitely has that early fall look to it.
You know what? I thought the same thing when I was looking at it. I was like, "Whoa, where'd those colors come from?" Whenever I saw it, I don't remember seeing those, but I like the coloring.
Yeah. It
really looks neat. And then she's got like some white, almost like lighter green through the trees, and it really adds to me a lot of definition.
Yep.
To the photo.
Yeah, I found it. I did find it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. But go ahead, Annie.
No, that's all right. I was pretty much done, but I think I think she did a really nice job on that one.
Yep. Yep.
And there's like she's got a lot of detail even in the mill itself.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. And I wanted to point that one out. So, okay, Rex, go ahead and tell us about the.
Well, okay, it was focal length was at 400. It was all the way out. The 200 millimeter f2.8, which at 2x is probably well, it's 400. The f2.8 becomes 5.6, and the actual f-stop was f11, 1/500th of a second, ISO 640, and the flash did fire, and there you have it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Rex. Okay, guys.
I think it was a good session tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yep.
If there's no other questions or anything, I think our next meeting is what, Monday night?
Yes.
Monday night.
Okay. So we will reconvene on Monday. Do you guys, let me ask you, you guys are the ones that are mostly on here anyhow. Do you want to do you want me to put a scavenger hunt out tonight? And then we can look at some pictures on Monday, or do you want to do something different on Monday?
You already have a list?
I don't, but I can make one up in a few minutes. It's up to you guys. I mean, because you know what I mean. I know it's only a few days from here as far as time-wise goes. So, and I don't know how often y'all are going out into the world to take pictures and stuff at this point. So, we can do something else on Monday. I'll figure something out and move the scavenger hunt and give you a month time to do a scavenger hunt. I think would you guys prefer that?
That might be easier. Depending
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, me personally, I don't even know how much time I would have to go out and do any photographs at this point between now and Monday. So.
I know. I was going to say it would have to be a short list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 things.
A picture of a tree, a picture of the sky.
That for my
flower.
All right. Well, with that
cap.
being said, let's do that. Let's move it a little bit. I'll figure out what we're going to do on Monday anyhow. We'll come up with something. But what I'd like to see is if you guys wouldn't mind sending maybe me some suggestions as to what you would like to see on a scavenger hunt. So maybe I can kind of take some other people's ideas and put them together onto the list. And when you do that, don't make it something that's like, you know, a picture of Big Apple, New York City, because obviously we're probably not going to run out there to take that picture.
I would.
I probably would, but
how about a red spotted newt?
A red
spotted newt.
But if you have any ideas or anything like that that you think would be cool to add into the scavenger hunt, go ahead and send those to me, or text them to me, or call me up, or something. If not, I'll start working on stuff, and I will send that list out on Monday at the meeting. We'll put the list out. So we got a couple of days to come up with a list. How about that?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Colorful.
Anything else for anybody?
That's pretty.
I'm disappearing.
All right.
Just want to say hi to everybody.
Bye, Carol.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you very much. It was a good meeting tonight. Thanks for everyone that participated in the photographer's choice. We've definitely been getting more submissions since we went to just the photographer's choice. So we appreciate it. And if there's nothing else, we can say good night, and I'm going to go get dinner.
Oh, good night.
Bye.
See everybody on Monday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.